Next up is the Ajna Center. The Ajna Center is found right below the head center on your body graph. And the Ajna Center translates inspiration from the head center into concrete thinking, analysis, data processing, thinking about how you can take that divine spark that we experience through the inspiration of the head center and turn it into something more tangible, more concrete, more third dimensional. And then taking that concept, that thought, and putting words to it, and then speaking it through the throat center, which will be the next center we will get to after the Ajna Center here. The Ajna Center is the center for our cognitive awareness. It is traditionally associated with the mind and correlates with the physical location of the brain's cognitive centers. It's from the Ajna Center you are thinking about who you are, and in conjunction with that, the meanings you hold about who you think you are. As an awareness center, it's here to help us make sense of the world and also to stay alive. When it comes to understanding, conceptualizing, and processing information, the Ajna Center plays a crucial role. Those with a defined Ajna Center have a consistent and reliable way of processing information and making sense of the world. And they can rely on it to make decisions, understand complex ideas, and form their perspectives from it. With a defined Ajna Center, you're constantly conceptualizing, processing, and interpreting ideas. Your energy is consistent, specific, and something that you can rely on. You are capable of providing certainty and grounding to ideas, whether they are abstract or logical. You're not necessarily influenced by other people's thinking and enjoy thinking about many things at once or combining those thoughts in your mind. A person with a defined ashna often feels certain about their opinions. Fixed beliefs can be a strength in own beliefs or in communication, but it can also make a person stubborn or a bit rigid. It can feel like you hit a wall with this person, especially if the person is within the lower vibrational expressions of this center's energy. People with a defined ashna are broadcasting, sharing their processing, their formalization, reasoning, and also their anxieties with the rest of the world. And one of the primary roles of the Ajna Center is to assist in the process of decision making. The mental processing power of the Ajna allows individuals to consider various possibilities, weigh the pros and cons, and also to draw upon past experiences and learned knowledge. However, in the human design system, the final authority for decision making is not the Ajna Center, but rather your authority, which is usually found in one of the other body graph centers, depending on your specific energetic configuration. Human design teaches that the most authentic decisions come from our body's wisdom rather than our minds. And the mind, including the Ajna Center, is seen as a tool for processing information and understanding the world, but not for making decisions. People with a defined Ajna are often here to teach and transmit knowledge. They give their knowledge through words and anchor it this way energetically through the radiation of the energy that comes from the defined Ajna Center. The energy in the Ajna Center is transmitted best when you wait for people to ask for it. Nobody really likes people who speak their minds without being asked first, right? And with a defined ashna, it's good to get into the habit of asking in a certain way. For example, can I share what I'm thinking? Or I might have some information for you. Would it be all right if I shared it with you? Because this energy is great for teaching, but only when people are ready for what you have to say. When they are ready, they will ask you, and then they are also way more receptive to what you are sharing. When you have an undefined ashna, You might feel a constant pressure to figure things out, to find answers, and to be certain. When your ashna is open and thus more receptive, able to see multiple perspectives at once, you have wisdom around which ideas have value and which do not. Those with an undefined ashna center have a more flexible and adaptive approach to thinking. They can understand and process information in different ways depending on their environment, the people they are with, or the specific situation at hand. And this flexibility can be both a strength and a challenge because it allows them to be adaptable and open minded, but it can also lead to confusion or inconsistency in their thought processes. They might find that they can learn effectively in a variety of ways, or that their preferred learning style changes depending on the subject matter or the environment in which they are learning. While this adaptability can sometimes lead to confusion or misunderstanding, it can also allow them to communicate effectively with a wide variety of people. With an undefined ashna, you have the ability to challenge other people to get clear on their own concepts. Sticking with a fixed idea is often appreciated, at least in the Western world, but people with an undefined ashna will naturally have a harder time to focus and stick with things, ideas, or goals in their lives. And sometimes people with an open ashna tend to have a lot of conditioning and can have shame, frustration, or fear about not knowing, not being clear, not having clarity, or not to be able to stick with a single focus. Also, if you are around people with a defined ashna, you can be, let's call it, twice as certain with your openness because you take in the defined ashna person's idea and or their belief, even though that might just be amplified conditioning for you. So sometimes people with an open ashna center work double as hard to be twice as certain because they treat their goals and ideas as belief systems. Another thing is that people with an open ashna may struggle with remembering things. But with an open ashna, you really don't have to figure things out. You just have to follow your strategy and your authority. There can often be tremendous relief in this knowledge for people with an undefined or open ashna center, and also for people with open or undefined head centers, because it is often the complete opposite of what they have been told throughout their lives that they actually have to do. When you have an open ashna center, you can allow yourself to relax a bit more into the not knowing space. You are not meant to feel certain through mental processing. You need to follow your strategy for your type and the authority that is specifically correct for you. Also, with an open ashna, try and make sure that you carve out some space for yourself to mentally shut down when mental energy isn't available to you. It's okay to take a break and just wonder about things without trying to be certain about them. The not self theme of the Ajna Center is to pretend to be certain. So try and ask yourself the following question: am I trying to convince everyone that I'm certain? Try and be okay with not being certain. It's very much okay not to be so. It's in the uncertainty and unknowing that all the possibilities lie. So let the universe show you your next right step by following your strategy and your authority. My suggestion is, when you start to feel uncertain about something, try and turn it around in your mind and think about all the positive, possible ways that something could turn out for you, because you attract what you vibrationally feel. So rather, go choose a higher vibrational thought than a lower one. At least that's my opinion on the subject.